Hello everyone, welcome to my first go at Dungeon Pages. Dungeon Pages? Dungeon Pages. I don't know which word to emphasize. I think it should be Dungeon Pages. Anyway, this is a follow-up of sorts to my previous video playing Lantern. Having discovered, I guess, the genre of printable I don't know, print and play, roll and write, single player dice adventures. Who knew that was a genre, right? The last one that I played, Lantern, I was not a fan of. It was just too small. There was not enough there. It was just like playing rigged Yahtzee. And, that's fair enough. It was free. This one, I think it cost like $6 to get a printout of like the rules and stuff. I won't be sharing the PDFs because you have to pay for them, but I imported these into Tabletop Sim, and you can buy them if you want. I haven't played it yet. I watched someone play one game. Seemed like fun, worth trying out. I think you can spend $20 to get a bunch more content in some way that I don't totally understand. Like, is it more rooms, more heroes, both? I don't know. But for $6, you get 6 heroes and 6 sets of maps. So you can choose, you can mix and match. These little grids down here are the maps for the Zafinn hero, but they're not really for him. You can play Zafinn in anyone else's maps. So in principle, this is 36 different, setups you could play. I struggled somewhat with deciding how, what should I play first? I thought about, I'll roll a d6 to choose a character and roll another d6 to choose an adventure. Which seems reasonable. I thought, maybe I'll go look up, what's a good character for beginners. But I eventually decided, they put this one on the front page for a reason. I suspect they expect a lot of players to play this character on this map first, and that's what I'm going to do. It seems like the most predictable thing. I heard people say that this guy is hero power or whatever you call it. His ability is not that good, but I don't know. It's probably fine. So, how does the game work? We'll get to this character sheet stuff in a minute. Broadly speaking, maybe I should just read from the rulebook because I don't know how to summarize this thing. Game overview. It's a tactical roll and write game where you play as a character embarking on an epic quest through various dungeons. Each quest sheet contains a character section and a dungeon section. Character section introduces a character and their ability, tracks their health and progress. Dungeon shows 4 minor dungeons and 1 boss dungeon. As you advance through dungeon, searching for treasure chests, you mark white spaces to represent the areas you have explored. The more thoroughly you explore each dungeon and the more monsters you defeat along the way, the more experience you will gain. Indeed. So, no, dungeon gameplay. No, whatever. We will go to each of these 4 mini dungeons and hopefully escape it and hopefully get stronger along the way. And then we will have to conquer the boss dungeon last and defeat the boss. The bottom section of the page describes the monsters and or traps we may find. I think, I don't think there are any dungeons with just traps. Well, there may be dungeons with traps, but there are no dungeon sheets with no traps. So there are, with no monsters, I mean. Anyway, so there are monsters here, and there are also traps. So it describes how they behave. Let's not do this yet, but for example, suppose we decided to go into the cave first. You might say, why don't you go there? Because it's the first one. Following your earlier belief that, wouldn't people... wouldn't they... Why don't you picked this character in this set of dungeons because they're first. Why not pick this dungeon because it's first? Because choosing the order to explore dungeons in is a strategic choice that you should make. Anyway, I'm gonna try to look at all 4 of these before I decide where to go first. But each dungeon has a number a number of black dice in the top right. These are the evil dice that you don't like while you're rolling. The monsters make use of these. And you also bring a good die with you. Later, you may get more good dice. For example, if we get at least 8 XP, we'll have access to a second good die. And these are things that our hero, that are only good for you. Monsters don't make use of the good dice. So on each turn, we will roll all the good dice and all the evil dice, like so. Remember, we're not actually playing, this is just an example. So this is a 5 on the evil die. We would consult the monster page and say, for each monster who's present, does at least one evil die meet their trigger condition? So we rolled a 5, and the cave features one monster, which is a skull, which I guess is a guardian. So on a 5 or more, the guardian does trigger, and it deals 1 damage to us. So we would take a damage here. If there are at least 2 evil dice, then whenever you roll doubles, you take 1 damage as well. Now, notably, I guess, well, is this notable? Beam of Energy, I'm not clear what I would use that for at the moment. Because monsters trigger on large dice. I don't know, I guess it's good for attacking monsters, maybe? But how do the rules cover how to sacrifice dice? Like, I assume it goes in the obvious way, but, like, I don't think they actually say. Oops, I think I double-clicked there, yeah. Actually, I have this as a PDF. Maybe I should go find that PDF and Control F it for the word sacrifice. Course, no, dungeon pages. You can't see this, I'm off screen here. Let me just have the PDF open so I can search for sacrifice. Good. There's an additional notes section on the final page here. The dungeon is complete. Yeah. Dice rolls can't be modified to be lower than 1 or higher than 6. Adjacency is orthogonal. If instructed to discard or sacrifice a die, take an unactivated die and set it aside for the turn. Yeah. Okay. That die can't be used this turn. Okay. So, if we wanted to, we could not use our ability, because we would have to sacrifice this good die and then double some other die. So we could make this a 10, but you can't make dice higher than 6, so that's illegal. So anyway, but sometimes we may have an ability that allows us to modify an evil die, and that could prevent taking damage. This guy doesn't seem to have that. Well, he can modify evil dice, but not in a way that would ever prevent damage, as far as I can tell. So we would take a damage, and then we would start our turn, where we spend these dice to take actions. The good and evil dice can both be spent. Although there are abilities that care about good versus that care specifically about good dice, right? This one, you can't sacrifice an evil die, for example, with this. The way that we explore is starting from the door where we enter. We can start marking these numbers into spaces on the board. So if I wanted to, I could put a 3 there and use up this die for the turn. Then this 5, I can put... where you can put them is determined by which weapons you have, which we'll get to later. But for now, we'll just talk about adjacency. And the 5, I can put anywhere that is adjacent to any square I have marked or the door. So you can always place dice adjacent to anywhere you've reached. You're considered to have reached the door, and also to have reached any square adjacent to anywhere you have reached. Any square adjacent to one you've marked. So I could, for example, and this would probably be a reasonable thing to do, I could put a 5 here. I say it's reasonable because placing high numbers next to monsters is how you attack them. A guardian needs to be attacked twice to be defeated, and you attack him by placing a number that is 3 or higher next to him. So this would be halfway to defeating this monster, and then I would have a real tough time getting to him the second time, sadly. You pick up items by placing 2 equal numbers next to the item. So this is like a coin. If I could put like a 1 here and a 1 here, I would pick up the coin. Or here and here, whatever. Just any 2 adjacent. This is some sort of potion. Looks like a health potion to me. And once you defeat monsters, they can't attack you anymore. You finish the dungeon immediately when you write in a number that connects a path from the door to the treasure chest. So if we wrote 1, 3, 5, or whatever, the dungeon is over and we leave. Now, this isn't a great way to do the dungeon because we didn't pick up any of the treasure or kill the monster, but this would be a way to leave. You especially would like to complete the dungeon by picking up as much stuff as you can. You get more experience for filling in more squares and for defeating monsters, and you want to pick up items and stuff. That's all straightforward. But you can only get experience if the path that you draw from the door to the exit can, if it uses only numbers that are sequential, that is within 1 of each other. So this would be a valid sequential path. 3, 4, 4, 5. You never have to go up or down by 2 or more, and that makes this path a sequential path, which means you do get experience when you leave. You always get the items you picked up when you leave, but to get experience, you have to mark a sequential path. And we'll talk about how, when I'm done, I guess we'll talk about how to get the experience or whatever. And then at the end of the dungeon, you can spend your experience, unlocking stuff, I guess. I think we're ready to start, except I have to decide which dungeon to go to first. So what's this? This is a locked door, I see. So it's impossible to pick up this health potion unless you have access to a key or some other way to write a number here. And that's a trap. What does this trap do? Fog something? Cursed fog. When marked... Oh, when the square with fog is marked, i.e. has a number written into it. Reroll all dice and begin a new turn. Reduce your range by 2 this turn, but no lower than 1. So in this, if we went in there now, our first, our range is just 1 anyway. Okay. So it doesn't hurt you, but it makes it harder to explore profitably. Well, I mean, it doesn't really hurt. On your first turn, it doesn't hurt at all, as long as you mark it with your last die for the turn. Or actually, you could even step into it on purpose if there's a die you don't want to write in, I suppose. Okay, so this place has 2 monsters, and they attack more. So it seems like you'd like to do this one kind of late. This one, though, it's really hard to kill the monster. You have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have to spend at least 7 numbers getting to him unless you have some cool item. Okay. How about the inn? Oh, that sounds like a nice place. There's one monster, but it's a different kind of monster. It's a steadfast orc. If there's only 1 orc, it takes a 5 or more to damage it, I think is what that icon means. Should be an icon reference over here. Tactics. Yeah, -1 decreases the defense of all monsters, and this is the same symbol with a +1. And it's the defense symbol. Okay, so there is only one orc at the inn. So this guy would have 5 defense. And you can't write numbers onto squares with items. So you can't just go like down here, you know, write a 5 here and a 5 here or something. To defeat this guy, you would have to put a number here, and also you have to like go through this fog, come down this way and this way, huh? Okay. Interesting. And this one has 3 monsters and 2 evil dice. This seems horrible. I hate this place. These 2 have orcs. Or these 2 are orcs. So there are guardians in the first 2 and orcs in the later 2. I mean, I gotta be honest. It looks like the cave is a good one to go to first. And after that, probably the inn to pick up a key so that I can go to the crypt and get my health potion. Yeah, because then I can pick up another key in the sewers and then use it here, which I guess would be helpful to kill this guy quickly. What do I get for my level ups? None of these are keys. Okay. What is this? This is an ability to reroll all dice, I guess? Well, hopefully I mean, getting to 27 seems very difficult. Maybe? I don't know. So yeah, let's do the cave. So let's set aside the dice we won't be using here. I thought about drawing little areas on the ground for like activated versus unactivated dice, but I imagine I won't have that much trouble remembering. So let's... Why is this X'd out? Oh, because, right. Because a crossed out health section it means you own that section. So you start out owning this much health, and health potions give you more. Okay. Boo! So we got... I mean, good news and bad news. The bad news is the Guardian is attacking us. Oops. So we're losing... Can I make this smaller? No, that's the smallest it gets? Okay, fine. So we're losing this health because the Guardian has attacked us, for 1. And we can begin our turn. And it sure looks like a 2 here and a 5 here is the way to go. Right? Get started marching towards the chest and the other way around to finish off the Guardian. Oh, does my ability do anything? No. I don't have any cool weapons or relics. Okay, so we go here with a 2 and here with a 5. The 5 here is useful both because it means we can later attack. It counts as 1 damage to this Guardian. And also because, you know, if we put it here, it wouldn't be part of a sequential path. So we really need, at some point, to put a 1, 2, or 3 here. Because I don't think there's any other path. Yeah, this is the only path to here. If you cross out... If we collect the coin, that'll be great, but we can't count our path through a picked up coin, because that won't be a number. Alright, turn 2. A 4 and a 3. That's pretty good, I think. Because the monster doesn't attack us on a 4. And a 3 is exactly what we need to go here. And a 4 is perfectly fine for continuing. So we're headed straight for the exit and this monster. Perfect. And if we ever pick up another 3, I'm happy to write it to pick up this coin, maybe. Oh, we haven't even talked about what coins do. Well, it'll be a surprise. Hey, nice low numbers. That's almost good. Let's see. It's fine, right? Now, we don't need a sequential path to go fight this monster, right? I could put a 1 here, for example, and it would be totally fine. And I think that's what I want to do. We want to explore these squares, but they don't have to be on our sequential path to the exit. So I want to put a 1 here to get me closer to fighting this guy. The question is, what do I do with the 2? We could put it here to make sure that, like, my next die, I have no trouble fighting this guy. But I'm pretty sure... Oh, I was going to say I'm pretty sure I want it here to pick up the coin, but of course it wouldn't pick up the coin. I need a 3 to go here and pick up the coin. And I think there's not really any advantage to, like... Any number here seems as good as any other, right? Because it just needs to be the same as the number we put here. And I think, like, I want, ideally, to not write a non-3 number here, because that reduces my chances of hitting this coin. So I guess I will just put the 2 here. I was thinking at first, for some reason, I could put a 2 here and pick up the coin, and that's why I wasn't going to write a 2 here, but that's not true. Oh, I suppose if I wanted to, I could sacrifice this 2 and just turn this into a 2 instead. So I could not write the 1 anywhere this turn. I don't think that's helpful. Let's roll again. Big number. Okay, well, we're certainly being hit, but the good news is we can finish off this monster now. So we check down here again. Yes, it is a 5 or more. And we are struck. Now we could write the 4 in here, and that would complete our sequential path. And that seems like a nice way to ensure that by the time we're done with the dungeon, we have a sequential path. The problem is that the moment you complete the path, you're out of here. So, if we did that now, we would be very unhappy. Okay, so instead, I will write either a 6 or a 4 here. Both of them defeat that guy, is that true? Yeah, he only has 3 defense. So I don't think there's much in it, really. I guess what I want to do is... Well, I want to write the other number in one, like, some useless space here or something. I don't know. Maybe a question to ask is, right now, what numbers are desirable to me? 2s are desirable. Numbers in the 3, 4, 5 range are desirable because I need one on my last turn. And 3s are desirable. So I kind of want to create more numbers that are desirable rather than create an even higher demand for a number. So I'd like to... I don't want to put a 6... I don't want to put a 4 here because that would make me kind of need 2 4s in a way. How can you count range through defeated monsters? I don't remember. Additional notes. Counting range, you can't pass through an undefeated monster. You can count range diagonally if something gives you permission to count range diagonally, but our weapon is only orthogonal. Okay, for each... Any previously marked space or its door. Marked space. So when you defeat a monster, are you marking that space? You may mark lower. Yeah, you attack it for. Oh, this is the monster we're fighting. Even okay. hard to say. Okay. Attack a monster by marking a space adjacent. You can attack. You must attack it when it's. Okay, so it doesn't even really say what it means to attack a monster. What does it mean to mark? You can't count range through undefeated monsters. Any previously marked space or the door. So in this example, they're saying you can't target through this monster because he's been defeated. He hasn't been defeated, which I understand. But they're not even suggesting that you could... Well, I wish there were a defeated monster in this example that I could understand. Okay, well, I think you probably can't. Is there any map that would make this clear because it says you have to go through a monster? No. Okay, well, so I think we probably can't. We have to put down a 6 and a 4. I'll put the 4 here. Actually, yeah. And the 6 here, I guess. So the 4 means we've now attacked this... Well, I hate the text controls. This guy has been attacked twice rather, by numbers 3 or greater. And he only has 2 HP, so we defeat him. I'll cross him out to be a reminder here. And now we're safe from monster attacks. A roll of 4 or 5 or higher will no longer attack us because there's no monster left to do so. We still roll the evil die. A 5 and a 6. Okay, cool. So if we put the 5 here and the 6 here, we can pick up this coin. Give me a circle, please. There we go. So a circled item is a remind. This is how, there's no like inventory. You just like the map, everything you've circled, that's stuff you own. So I now own this coin. If I later spend a coin, I'll draw a line through it, and then I don't own it anymore. Dealing with double coins is going to be an exciting adventure. But so now we can finally talk about how coins work. Another 6 and a 5, huh? You may spend a coin to modify a die by plus or minus 1. You can even do this. There's only... if we look down here, wandering monsters, this is like the only effect that I know of that applies before you get a chance to modify dice. So if we roll a doubles, it's always going to be a damage. But let's say there were still a guardian around, and we rolled like a 1 and a 5. We could spend our coin to shrink the 5 to a 4, and then the guardian wouldn't attack. So you can do that. Okay, I rolled. This is a second 6-5. That's right. This needs to be marked. We don't want to put anything here. We want to save that for a 2. We could I think we want to go here because this is unlocking more junk spaces that we can afford to write bad numbers in. So let's put a 6 here, I think. I don't think there's any real reason to prefer a 5. I mean, like, I don't want to write here as well because it's like, let's say I never roll a 4, 5, or 6 ever again and I never get to escape. Leaving this square blank gives me an out that I could get 3, 2, 1 or something like that, a different way out. So I want to leave those blank. That's my 6, and I'll put the 5 here, I guess. So I want to leave this space blank as well to potentially write a 3 in, basically. Okay? I could have used a coin to no effect, I guess. I couldn't have used it to pick up either of these items. Okay. A 3 and a 6. Well, either of those lets us pick up this coin. And I could turn the 3 into a 2 to pick up this potion. I don't think that's urgent. So let's not. I'm going to write the 6 in here. Collecting this coin. And the 3 here, because as I said, this could potentially allow me a secondary escape path out of the dungeon. Hopefully it doesn't come to that, but just in case, that's a nice place to have a 3. A 3 and a 4. Well, we could spend a coin to pick up this potion with the 3. We could also put this 3 here, and then a 2 that would still help make 2 a useful escape die. I want to put my 2 here. The other thing we could do is sack the 4 and only write in a 6, which we could put here. So when you we should talk a little bit now about scoring. When you get experience, each column that you have filled in every blank space in is worth 1 XP. Actually, I wonder if I should have gone to the crypt first, because I just realized now there's not enough experience on this map to get my second die. Interesting. Whereas if I had gone to the inn first, the orc is worth 2 experience. Then I could have come here second and fought this guy with an extra die. On the other hand, I will have enough XP to buy a lightning bolt, hopefully. So that's this is probably fine. The lightning bolt will be helpful over here, I imagine. Anyway, so each column that you can fully fill out is worth 1 experience. And remembering that you leave immediately when we mark this square. Like, I think it's fine to, since I don't really want either of these numbers, I think I should use my own ability to turn this 3 into a 6 and just write 1 number, buying myself more time to get the stuff I need. So let's make this a 6. And put that, come on, here, out of the way. And take another turn. A 4 and a 5. Are you kidding me? You know what? Maybe I should have collected that potion, because I've just now realized this turn I have to either collect the potion, well, try to, or escape. And I don't want to escape. And it's difficult to collect the potion. I could spend 2 dice on this 4, turning it into a 2 and put it here and get the potion. Then put the 5, I don't know, here. But I think that's way too dangerous. Because then I have to roll a 3, 4, or 5 on one of these 2 dice to escape next turn, or I get no experience. So I think we're just going to give up on this potion. Put a 4 here and a 5 here. And roll again. Well, we get to escape. So I'll put in a 2 here and a 3 here. And we have completed a path to the exit. So the dungeon is over. We have escaped. And because it is a sequential path, 2, 3, 4, 3, or alternatively 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, we do succeed. We get the treasure. We always get the treasure, but we get to count experience. So experience is pretty... Let me double check there's not some source of experience I've forgotten about. Dungeon... Completing a dungeon. Complete immediately when you form a path orthogonally connected marked spaces from the door to the treasure. Actually, this, I think... yeah, range can be counted through defeated monsters. The path must go around. The path has to have marked spaces. So I think this answers my question about whether you can, like, count a defeated monster as a space to count through. I think the answer is no, because it says a path is marked spaces. So this must not be marked. This is just, like, crossed out. Even if you don't complete a sequential path but do complete a non-sequential path, you get to keep your items. If you complete a sequential path, you get extra rewards. Experience. Yeah, for each column you explored, fill in 1 XP dot. Column is explored if all white spaces, empty and trapped spaces, are marked with a value. Okay, so if we had somehow escaped without defeating this monster, like let's say these numbers here were all 1s and we didn't defeat this monster, this column still counts as explored and is worth a point, an experience, but we don't get the experience for defeating the monster, of course. Okay, and then you can choose 1 weapon or relic that your XP requirement meets. Sure. So let's just mark these. I mean, you don't have to, but just a little reminder that I did them all. And then we can say, okay, we got 6 experience for exploration and 1 for this monster. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 experience. We're allowed to unlock a weapon or a relic. And the only one we qualify for... We also, you automatically get these. You don't spend experience. It's just like if you have enough, you can fill this in. We don't have enough to do this. We don't get another good die. I can't afford any relics. And the only weapon I can afford is a lightning bolt. So I'll take it. So now when we're placing dice, every time you mark a die, there's a die you want to mark a space with, you choose a weapon to use. And you can use the same weapon or different weapons. You can use each weapon as many times as you like. So now we have the option of using a lightning bolt, which basically says you can, at a range of 2, you can mark something. You can skip over an unmarked square as long as it's in a straight line. Okay, cool. Well, time to go to another dungeon. And I think it's the Red Eagle Inn because that one has a key, right? It also looks like the easiest one. There's only 1 monster and only 1 evil die. So let's just head out on that new experience at the new dungeon. Again, it is a new experience, but let's not use the word experience. That would be too confusing with the game mechanic. And let's also remember I do have 2 coins. Those are important to have available, I guess. Double 5s. The orc attacks on 4 or more. so it's going to be pretty hard. I could spend 2 dice, shrinking this to a 3, 2 coins, shrinking it to a 3, but that seems like a gross overreaction. So instead, I'll just take a damage, and then I have 2 5s to place. On the one hand, it seems nice to like put 1 here and 1 here, picking up the coin immediately. But the importance of a sequential path is so great that I think I would rather put a 5 here and then the other 5 here, guaranteeing I can move forward. I don't know. We could dirtle around here for a little bit if we have to. I think making sure that I get... Well, no. I mean, the really aggressive play would be a 5 here and a 5 here with Lightning Bolt. Actually, could I start here? Is that legal? I think it is. I count from the door any range I can reach, right? Explore. Weapon has its own range. Any previously marked space or the door. So it's true, I could put a 5 here. Is that a good idea? I mean, probably not. But, you know, we want to get towards this monster as quickly as possible, right? It would constrain me to needing a 4, 5, or 6 here, but that's not a huge problem. And it gets me closer to this monster. Like, the faster I can defeat this guy, the less damage I'm going to take in this dungeon. I think that's actually a reasonable play. Let's put the 5s here and here. Because now, I don't know. Is it good? Maybe I should put them... We can't... Wait, can I put it in the fog? Is that legal? So traps. Okay, so that's what this does. When marked, reroll dice and begin a new turn. Reduce your range by 2. So I could... I think I could, yeah? Why not? I can't count through untriggered traps, but I could count an untriggered trap. Unmarked traps block range, example 3. Yeah, I can't target through a trap, so I couldn't target this, but I obviously. Oh, look, in this example, they even have him starting with his lightning thing going here. This is the dungeon we're working on. So if I put a 5 here and a 5 here. But I could even target this trap. Just trigger it. It's harmless right now. And I think I want to go fast. It constrains me again to this number. Actually, this has to be, yeah, 4, 5, or 6. It would constrain this number to also being a 4, 5, or 6. But I think that's okay. I want to go fast. Put a 5 here. So that triggers the trap. And I have less range this turn. But this is a turn where I don't think I really need range for anything. Like, there's nowhere I could actually target with extra range anyway, unless I guess I went here and then here or something. So, cool. Remember that I have reduced range this turn. A 6 and a 5. Those are great numbers. Almost. I guess they're fine. I'll just use them to fill these in? Or do I want to keep going down this way? I don't think I have to. This space is just as useful as this one is in a way. I could spend a die to like turn both of them into 5s or whatever and put them here, but why spend a coin to make sure I can eventually collect a coin? Oh, I should take a damage from the monster. Be nice to get some more HP at some point. Starting to get a little nervous. So it would be nice to put the 5 and the 6 here just so I can guarantee there is a path through here, because I'll need one eventually. But I think I want to keep going down this way. So let's put a 5 here. And a 6 here, so I guess I could be ready to pounce on the monster if I needed to. I'm not so sure about that. Because here is also useful, right? I need to go both these directions to get to the monster. So this potion is a poison potion, right? Which I think allows you to like turn any die into a 4 once or something like that. Yeah. Used to... Oh, no, it doesn't... You don't spend it to change a die. You just spend it to mark a 4 in addition to whatever you're marking this turn. So not so useful for fighting orcs. But it'll help for fighting the Guardian. Well, for fighting one orc, it's not useful. For 2 orcs, it would be okay. But anyway, it might be helpful for the Guardians in this map, for example. Or just for, like, pathing. So I still have to decide what to do with this 6 and 5. Or I've already marked the 6. I have to decide what to do with the 5. Maybe I should have separate areas because I get distracted while I'm in the middle of my turn. Remembering that we can't go here because we only have 1 range this turn. I don't really want to put a 6 here. That's the most constraining thing I could do. Oh, this is interesting. It's almost... Well, no. It's a little bit difficult to complete both of these columns, because if you ever mark one of these off, you can reach the chest and the adventure ends. But that's only true if you have a path from here to here. Like if I marked, like, I could mark both of these right now and this, and the adventure still wouldn't end because I haven't filled this in. That's interesting. So if I want full experience, I have to do that. I think I'll just put the 6 here. I don't have a good reason. It doesn't seem much better or worse than going here. A 4 does not hit, right? Oh, it does hit. I could spend a coin on that. That seems okay. Because I don't mind 3s right now. Yeah, actually, this is a good excuse to spend a coin for the first time. So what I'll do is I'll mark this coin as no longer in my possession. I'll decrement this die to a 3 so the orc doesn't hit me. And then, you're going to love this, I'm going to mark one of the 3s here. And the other one I can put either here or here, depending on whether I want to secure the key for sure or the coin for sure. The 2 coins, rather, for sure. What is the key getting me? It's getting me a health potion, hopefully. I'm pretty sure a health potion is worth more than 2 coins. It also gets me closer to defeating this orc, so that I might take less damage on future turns here, yeah. So I think we put a 3 here. And circle this key. Great. Good turn. A 6 and a 4. I mean, it's fine. We get attacked on the 4. I think this is another opportunity to spend a... Well... I could spend a coin, turning the 4 into a 3, and then pick up these 2 coins. But if I do that, then I'm not defeating the orc this turn. I could just tank this, put down a 4 and a 6, and he's dead. But I think dodging this and picking up a 3 is pretty useful, so I'm going to spend my other coin. Making this a 3, and we dodge the attack again. And I want to... Would you get out of here? Hello? So put the 3 here. And circle these coins. How to mark off just one of them will be interesting. I mean, obviously there are ways I could do it, but ways that I will understand for sure what they mean, less clear. Oh, and also the 6. I was thinking to myself, that's a nice die to attack a monster with. But I do want a 6 to collect this coin eventually. I think just hitting the monster is more urgent. But I'll do it over here so that I don't end up needing 2 6s. One to collect this coin and one to collect this treasure, or this potion. So this is my 6. I do have to hit him twice, right? Yeah, 2 HP. Okay. So far, so good. Okay, I can't really dodge this 5. I mean, I could. It would be possible, but it's not easy. So I'll take a damage from the 5. And I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to put the 5 here. A 5 here would be nice, but it's not crucial. You know, whereas killing this orc is very useful. So 5 here, defeating this monster. And now the 3 somewhere out of the way. I guess that's here. But I do need to be careful. I'm starting to get a little bit constrained on my path out. Right? I need like something adjacent to a 5 here and also here. I've got some time. Oh, and I need a 5 here, ideally. I mean, that's a nice to have. These are kind of mandatory. The good news is, though, that I need high numbers, which I'm quite good at getting because if I roll low numbers, I can sacrifice a good die. So I probably will be okay at filling these in. Speaking of, let's knock that 6 out. Why is it saying type 6 here? Okay, whatever. Normally when you type it, I must have double-clicked accidentally or something. So let's collect this coin. And I still have a 4 to mark, which here is a great place to have it. Because remember, we want to mark these 2 off before we mark this. Oh! No, yeah, I was going to say, at first, I was like, oh, remember I was saying I need a 4, a number adjacent to 5 here so I can go this way? I was like, oh, this isn't the only path. I could go this way. And then, but I still need this to be a 4, 5, or 6, no matter whether I get to there through here or through here. So it's sort of silly. Okay, well, let's roll again. A 4, a 5. That's great, right? I can put a 5 here, getting the potion, the poison potion, or do they call it just poison? I don't know. It is a poison potion. And the 4 wants to go in one of these squares, guaranteeing that as long as I can get to here, I have a path out. So now I can fill in all the numbers with anything all the spaces with anything I want, as long as I put a 4, 5, or 6 here, ideally last. Cool. So most of these numbers don't matter anymore. A 1 and a 4. I mean, let's put one of them here. A 1, I guess. That was a little high. Ah! I wanted to erase this one because I wrote it a little high. It doesn't really matter, I guess. Hello? Am I stupid? Now it's low. Whatever. So that was my 1, and I'll put the 4. I don't think it matters. Except that this square is important. Every other square is equivalent, so let's just put it... Actually, let's put it somewhere that completes a column, I guess. 4? A 6 and a 2? So how many squares are left? 5. I think we want to keep the parity odd so that on the last die we have 2 dice that we can use to get either a 4, 5, or 6. Only if I roll... Yeah, I have enough coins, actually, that no matter what I roll, I can escape. And only if I roll very low do I have to spend coins at all. So I think that's fine. Like, it would have to be double 1s, I think. Or maybe a 2 on the good die and a 1 here. So I have a 6 and a 2 to write in anywhere I choose. 6, 2. Ooh, that one almost stayed on the edge. A 6 and a 3. Again, I can just write these any old place. 6, 3. A 2 and a 5. Perfect. No need to spend any coins. Oh my god. Tabletop Sim, I don't know. I don't love using the text facility to mark stuff off. I thought of making little decals for all the numbers and for circles and stuff, but I figured I would at least try it with text because that's built in, and the number decals kind of seem silly. But I really hate the way, like, marking over existing text, it, like, pops up this stuff. I don't know. Anyway, we made it. There is now a path from the entrance to the exits. The dungeon is over. And if we trace it out, we'll see it is sequential. I never have to go up or down by more than 1. So we do get score experience. You can see we completed every column. They all of these spaces you can write numbers into have numbers written into them. So let's just mark all this off. I don't think there's any need to do this. I think those are just reminders, but... But okay, 6, and then another 1 for defeating the monster is 7 more, so we'll be at 14. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let me just double check. I believe we do get both of these. This isn't something you have to spend like a choice on or something. Completing a dungeon. Fill in XP. A row of locked bonuses. Each is unlocked when its XP requirement is met. If you unlock any, mark them to show they can now be used. So we have this. I guess I'll just... Oh. I've been carefully using actual straight lines instead of drawn lines, and I forgot that time. There we go. So we have both of these. And having gained a health potion means that we mark off another block. So this, we now possess this HP, which we did not before. So in a sense, this is just healing by 3. I could like unmark these, but the game is designed to be doable with pen, basically. So instead of doing that, you just add 3 new HP that you have access to. And then we can choose 1 new weapon or relic. We don't have enough experience for the next weapon, so we should choose a relic, and only 1 is available. So I guess that's an easy choice, huh? I will take the Ring of Good Fortune. So, the relics are... I wonder, I don't really want this relic, I don't think. I would have loved Elder Fire. Like, look how much you get to do. It's incredible. But like, so I could have maybe chosen a different dungeon to get a different amount of experience, but I would have needed 2 more. I would have had to go like here second if I wanted to unlock the Elder Fire already. So maybe that would be too hard. Wow, this chainmail is nuts. Oh, but it's right. Once per turn, but... So relics have charges, so... Each time you use a relic, you have to mark off one of its charges permanently. So this is like twice per game. We can reroll one good die. Doesn't seem that strong, but what do I know? Okay, so next fight, or next dungeon, where to? I mean, the crypt seems nicer. Seems more friendly. Right? And we could potentially have access to Elder Fire. So I guess I should count how much experience we get here. Here we could get as much as 8, bringing us to 22. So we could get either of these. Although, again, I think I want Elder Fire. So this symbol means reroll 1 die, right? And this symbol means you can add up to 2 to a die. Let's go check. Reroll an X. What? Oh. Reroll a 1. I see. That's kind of scary, isn't it? You can reroll a die that rolled an X and then use it with this weapon. So if I roll a 1 that I don't want, I can... Well, I guess it's not scary, because the Elder Fire is strictly better than all my other weapons anyway. What does this mean? I think this means these have to be in a straight line. I think this means you could actually go up and then over to mark it. Where's the section on range? Here. Measures range straight and can change directions. Yeah. Cool. So that would be neat. So anyway, if we had the Staff of Power and Elder Fire, then committing to using Elder Fire would be kind of dangerous. 'Cause like, oh, what if I roll something that I want to use the Staff of Power on? Right? Or maybe... Are you allowed to like do this reroll and then after getting the result but before marking it with Elder Fire, could I spend a coin on it? I'm not sure. Because this says then use it with this weapon once per turn. Huh. And coins? Explain coins to me? Oh, is there anything I should know about experience? I don't think so. Let's just fill it in. Okay. Yeah, and somewhat predictably... Wait. This isn't Zafinn's sheet. This is someone else's sheet. But they did give the player 14 XP, which is what I have now. 8, 13. Maybe... Oh, you know what? I bet this was Zafinn's sheet, and they buffed him. Or this used to say 10 and now it says 8. Yeah, interesting. I might point that out if they're going to print a new edition someday. Well, not print. You have to print it yourself. Coins. Use to modify dice results. See items section for restrictions. Using coins. Used at most times. Okay, well, I choose to consider this most times. So, anyway, I was counting. If I go here, I get 8 more experience, getting to 22. 23 is slightly better than 22, so there is some argument for going to the sewers first so that I'll have this experience when I go to the crypt. But I think it is probably better to make sure that I have the extra die when going to the sewers. Oh, also, I guess it's worth counting. How much total experience will I get if I do everything perfectly? I can get 8 more here, and 9 more here. Is 17 plus my 14 is 31? Is that right? What do you have all these experience sections for if they don't do anything? Yeah, 8 plus 9, 17, 31. Yeah, okay. So I could have all of this for the final boss. That's cool. This one's obviously insane. Reroll all dice. Which, I mean, that's an ability, right? I think you can use it like even before taking damage from monsters. And extra range is going to make the Staff of Power better if I end up going that way. Interesting. Anyway, so yeah, I think the crypt seems fine. I mean, on the other hand, 3 orcs? The orcs are easier to kill than guardians are. Because nope, they're harder to kill. And they attack more. Never mind. This sucks. Let's fight the orcs last. Okay. Yeah, good choice. I'm going to the crypt. So we're going to need a second evil die. And let the adventure begin. Boy, it's been an hour already? Maybe... I know, like, this is... If you play quickly, which I never do, you can finish a whole adventure in, like, 20 minutes or something. But I'm thinking, whatever. It'll just all be one video. I'll just try to not be so damn slow. 655. So, first of all, it's very difficult to avoid being hit by the monsters here, right? They attack on 5 or more, so I would have to make both of them 4s. Or lower. That would cost me 3 coins to avoid 2 HP loss. I don't think that's a good idea. So there are 2 monsters, so I get hit twice. Because at least 1 evil die is 5 or more. It doesn't matter that 2 evil dice are 5 or more. At least one of them is. So... So I'm hit once by each monster. They don't like hit me twice each. However, this is a strong start for us as well. Reasonably strong anyway. I'm going to spend... I'll use my lightning bolt to put a... Do I have 2 5s or 2 6s? I have 2 5s. Okay. To put a 5 here... And then a 6 here, and another 5 here. Instantly defeating this dork. So now I'm set to take less damage anyway. And this is part of a potential sequential path, which is nice. I think we want to go this way next, right? So to mark out this monster as quickly as possible. It's pretty tricky, actually, to figure out how to mark... What order to mark stuff in to make sure I can do all the things, but also get out with... Well, no. Right. As long as I never mark this square... I don't have to worry about, like, marking these to let me escape. In fact, to collect these coins at all, I'll have to mark a square next to the treasure. I just need to make sure that square isn't part of a sequential or a path. Okay. So I don't know. I hopefully... Can you count range through the treasure chest? I think you can. So in principle, I don't have to go through this fog. I could go like here, here, here if I wanted. I don't think that's especially good, but it's an interesting thought. Okay, those numbers are low enough that I am not attacked by the Guardian, which is nice. And there's no doubles, so no wandering monster hits. A 6 to collect this coin would be nice, but is by no means urgent. So I could do the thing I was saying, you know, 5, 4, 2 or something like that. Doesn't seem unreasonable. Although, how much is it to damage these guys? I forget. 3 or more. So, also don't forget, I do have poison. Is that interesting somehow? Lets me mark a 4 anytime. So actually, 5, 2, 4 is probably better. Because then I kind of want to put a 4 here, and I'm good at marking 4. Like, I don't want to put a number next to this coin that is not high enough to damage this guy, because then this space can't be used for both of them. So I kind of want this to be where the 4 goes. I mean, I could put the 4 here and the 5 here instead, but that makes it harder to get from here to here. Because I would need specifically a 5 or a 4 instead of needing a 4, 5, or 6. So I think that makes sense. I think I want to put a 5 here, a 2 here. Let me super double check that I am allowed to count range through the treasure chest. Doesn't mention that here. Range. Can't count through walls, locked doors, undefeated monsters, or uncollected items. Is there an example here? There isn't. You may count range through the treasure chest. Okay, great. So this is a legal play that I'm trying to make. Put a 4 here. Not 100% sure it's a good play, but it seems reasonable at least. Two, 2, 5. Well, this is a good chance to use a coin to make this into a 4. I already want a 4. And it would help me avoid the damage from this guy. So let's spend this coin. Oops. I didn't draw a straight line. Oh well. Turning this 5 into a 4. Now I'm not attacked. And I have 2 2s and a 4 to spend. I want to use the 2 to go here, but I can't do that and also defeat the monster this turn. And I think defeating him this turn is worthwhile. Now, if I put like 2, 4, 4, this guy will be defeated and I'll pick up the coins, which is nice. But it will mean this can't be part of a sequential path. So I would be restricting myself to only take this path to the exit, which I think is okay, but it does merit consideration. I think it's fine. So I want to mark all 3 of these spaces this turn, because there's no other way for me to get here than to mark this one. So... in fact, to defeat this guy, I will have to use my poison, which is fine. That's what it's for. Although, if I'm using my poison and declining to pick up this while I can, maybe that's too great an expense, and blocking myself off. Maybe waiting a turn to kill this guy is appropriate. Like, I could put a 4 here and use a 2 to mark this off using my key. I assume that's how keys work, but let's check. Use to mark a locked door as if it were empty. Yeah, so 4 here, 2 here picks up the health potion. And makes this part of a potential sequential path to the exit. Which seems pretty nice. I think I can wait a turn on this guy. Well, I don't know. He's pretty likely to attack with 2 dice, right? So I'm like losing 1 HP permanently, probably, or at least losing a coin. And I'd really like to have my coins for this fight, because decreasing a 4 to a 3 saves me a ton of HP. Also, does poison work on orcs? It does. Guardians are easier to fight. I don't think I should spend my poison killing this guy so quickly. Let's pick up the potion instead. So, I have a 4 and 2 2s. I'll put the 4 here. A 2 here. Spending this key and collecting this potion. And then I still have another 2 to spend, which, I don't know. Here doesn't seem like a great idea. I should be able to get out this way, but I don't. It's probably fine. Yeah, let's do that. Put a 2 there. Alright, next turn. Don't kill me, please. Or, well, don't hit me. He's only going to hit for 1 at the worst case. Wow. Those are a little bit low. Is that okay? I mean, I could spend... So, I can pass through the monster phase and then increment this. Although I guess it doesn't matter because he's not attacking me anyway, even on a 4. Although, this might be my chance to, for the first time, use this ability. Right? Blow up this 1, which I don't really want for anything, to turn a 2 into a 4. And then I can hit this guy twice with the 3 and the 4, right? So this 1 will not be used today. This 2 I will double to a 4. I'll write the 4 in here. collecting the coins and damaging this guy, but you don't have to mark that. And then I'll write the 3, get out of here, in here, defeating this enemy. Nice. So, as I said, we're a little bit constrained in how we exit, but we have tons of coins. That should be fine. You know, I mean, every time I, don't spend a die on marking, it does mean I'm spending longer in the dungeon, which means that a wandering monster has a chance to hit me. But they only hit me 1 turn out of 6. And making sure I can take this guy out this turn without having to spend a coin is well worth it. Actually, it also would have been hard to pick up. Anyway, yeah. I think this is certainly the correct play, even though it was not completely free to sacrifice a good die. Okay. So what are my... Well, I guess my highest priority is to put a 6 here, right? Well, my highest priority is to make sure I don't make it impossible to... Oops, wrong thing. Don't make it impossible to get experience, but I think we're not really in danger of that. So that's my 6. I have a 1 and a 3 remaining. And I can't sacrifice 1 to double the other, not that that's super important. Actually, this is weird. Is it actually impossible to fully mark out this dungeon? Because it must be, right? In order to not have finished the dungeon, you have to have at least 1 of these 3 spaces unfilled. Or at least 1 of these 3. No. And if it's only 1 of each, then you will have completed the dungeon, right? There has to be there are 2 paths here, and you can't have them both become finished at the same time. One of them has to finish before the other, and that means you leave before you finish marking, right? I think so. Oh, I forgot. I do have this. I could reroll a good die at some point. Doesn't seem important. Yeah, I think it may just be like a pipe dream to imagine completely filling out this dungeon. Okay, interesting. I don't know. I can't fill out all 3 of these or the game will end. And I can't fill out both of these or the game will end. So if I fill out both of these, at the time I do that, at least 1 of these must be unfilled in, or the game would have already been over. And if I fill out all of these, then at least 1 of these must be unfilled in, or the game would be over. Yeah, so it is impossible to fill out the whole dungeon. I should try to minimize it so that only 1 row is unfilled in, or 1 column. Is that possible? I mean, I think it is, but maybe not with what I've written in so far. That's what I'm trying to figure out. So I think we want to leave this column unfilled in, because that cuts off both of these paths. So if I leave this unfilled in and then, yeah. So let's just try to fill out every other column. But I want to leave this fog for last if I can, because it's actually a useful resource. to let me reroll dice for free if I get something awkward. Oh, I can't even fill in both of these, can I? Tricksy. Okay. Well, I think I want to put my 6... What I want to do is prioritize filling in the other... Oh, man, it looks so bad. Whatever. I want to prioritize filling out the other columns. And then this one, I could fill in here or here. As long this one could be completely unfilled, and then I'll write one mark in it, and that'll be enough, right? So that's my 6. I still have a 1 and a 3, which, I mean, let's fill this out with a 3, I guess, and a 1 here. 4, 4, 3. I really need this 4 here, so that when I do fill this in, it'll be a sequential path. And then the 4 here is also very nice. And let's put a 3 here. Right? Seems fine. Hello? Oh, there we go. And that looks like the game, right? We put any of them here, let's say a 4. And then I could fill this out, but it would be disastrous. This is illegal to fill out. No, actually, I can count through this guy. I can go from here to here if I wanted. But it doesn't accomplish anything. A 5 or a 6 in either of these two spaces would be sufficient to escape. So let's put the 5 here just for a fancy zigzag path. At this time, I have completed a path, and I previously had not, so this is a legal way to exit the dungeon. We can count it as sequential. From the door, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 5, 6, 5, 4, 4. Exit. So, score it up. We have 1, 2, not this column, 3, 4, 5 columns totally filled out. So we get 5 plus 2 is 7 more, bringing us to 21. I can't choose the wand of repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Adds up. It's 21 as we had hoped. We do get the extra good die. That's great. And I could take Enchanted Chainmail, which is kind of like a healing potion for 3 in a way. I'm hopeful that Elder Fire will be worth more in how quickly it lets us explore, and I guess it makes ones more useful. Although, I mean, looking at it, I'm not sure it is that useful. Maybe I just want the chainmail. Because there's not a lot of opportunities to move by 3 in a single turn. So the main thing it would be is letting you reroll 1s, which... I mean, I guess that's okay. Makes it easier to get dice to fight monsters with, maybe? I guess even here, like a 3 is sort of useful. You could go here, here. And then fight this guy like so. It's something. Man, this guy's huge. What is his... let's not read his text. It'll be a fun surprise when we get to that dungeon. Well, I guess I should plan around it, right? He attacks for 2. And he actually attacks for 3 if you've started fighting him. That's interesting. is so difficult to erase stuff. The cursor is just like, I don't know. There we go. I found it. You need 6s to hit him. You need to do it 5 times? Okay. Wait. I think I counted my experience wrong over here. I forgot the orcs are worth 2 experience. So I could have actually had 15 on my way into this fight, but not 16. So let's just double check. I should have 6, 7, 12, 13, 14, 22. But I actually have 21. Cool. So I actually could buy the Wand of Repeat if I wanted. Huh. This guy attacks on 4s. Jeez. Seems strong. So marking a result twice. This is kind of weirdly worded, right? Because I guess it's just saying, like, when you choose to mark a die, you choose which weapon to use to mark it, I guess. So you choose a die, and then you can use a weapon on it 2 times in a way. I think I want my Staff of Power to be my last weapon. I think I can just skip Elder Fire. Like, it's okay, but taking one of these looks pretty cool. Like, I think my last 2 picks to both be relics. I guess we should also consider that, like, I'll have this stuff later. I don't know, does that matter? I'll have extra range already. So that makes the Elder Fire even less relevant, right? Because, like, being able to count to 4 is kind of crazy. Its main thing is just, like, it can reroll 1s. Staff of Power +2. So this means when you use a die with this, you can choose to treat it as up to 2 higher if you want or something, I assume. You may increase a good die by X, not up to X. So, okay. So a good die you could treat as being 2 higher if you wanted, but not 1 higher. Oh, 1 or more. So reroll all, but it doesn't have to be all of them. Okay, I mean, so give me this extra good die. Oh man, there's 3 evil dice in this place. Are you crazy? I think, I mean, I really want this Wand of Repeat, I think. Because marking a 6 twice seems like a really useful way to chop up that dragon as quickly as possible. And I think I want the Staff of Power as my last power-up. Huh. Means I'm never getting the chainmail, which is probably fine. I mean, I have 8 health to spare right now, and I'm picking up another potion to bring it to 10. There's another potion here. Like, I should be okay on that front. I just don't think Elder Fire, although it's free in the sense that it doesn't have charges, I think it's not going to generate as much value as getting to use the Wand of Repeat twice. So give me this. Could be wrong on that. So we're going into the sewers, which is 2 evil dice plus the 2 good dice I have. Let's get started. Okay, my first time getting hit by a wandering monster, weirdly. Seems like that should have happened at some point in that last dungeon, but it never did. Yeah, so anytime evil dice roll doubles, you take a damage, and this is before you're allowed to use dice abilities to modify, so nothing you can ever do to prevent wandering monster damage. They don't want to let you make a dungeon completely safe to explore. So, obviously we want to start by defeating orcs. And I also want to keep in mind the sequential path that I will be marking at some time. The guys take 2, right? To defeat? 2 dice. I mean, they have to be at least a 4. So the question is, I guess, am I willing to cut off myself from using this as my sequential path? I guess I am. This dungeon is also impossible to completely fill out, right? Well, then how did I do this one? It seems like this should have been impossible too. No, because this was a choke point of sorts. The treasure chest was only facing one way. And here I had this as a choke point. Or this, or this. I see. But here there is no such choke point. Both the exit and the entrance have 2 ways to get to them. And I believe that is a sufficient condition to say you can't completely fill it out. Oh, so how much more experience am I getting from here? I counted it wrong before. I counted it as 9 because I forgot the orcs were worth 2 each. So it's actually 12, but remembering that we can't completely fill it out, call it 11. So from 22, we could get to 33, which doesn't matter. I don't know why there's so much space for experience. Oh, I guess experience is also your score. You get to score experience on the last fight as well. Okay. So I think I'm okay ruling out this path and forcing myself to go this way. Because it leads to a pretty pleasant turn if I do that. I'm going to put a 4 here. Get out of my way, you stupid. I just want to write something right here. Hello. All right, I'm deleting that. I'm going to do this out of order, which is even legal, because I could use the lightning bolt to go here first. And then a 4 here. Would you, like, why is this 4 such a nightmare? Put the, what is it? I have a 5 as the other one, right? Yeah. So 5 there. I should do this first. Put a 1. I'm putting both 1s here, but not in this order. Then I'll put a 5 here and a 4 here. So actually I went 4, 1, 5, 1. But the order doesn't really matter. I just was struggling with tabletop sim. Cool. That seems like a great start. We took out one of the monsters. We got a potion. And we're reasonably well positioned to take out the other. Well, one of the others anyway. Let's try to remember my relics. Mark a result twice. Don't really need that. The ring, certainly don't need it. Nice. Well, is that good? I don't know. They're not really great for fighting monsters, I guess. But I think they're good enough. So I didn't get hit by the wandering monster. I didn't get hit by these guys. I should be able to take this guy out. I'm certain I can. I'm just trying to think of the best way to do it. I mean, I was thinking I could spend my poison to write in one of the like a 4 here, and then sack a good die to make this big enough to kill him with the other one. But why not just... Is this only once per turn? Nope. Well, I guess I should check whether there's some rule that says in general abilities are only once per turn. As often as needed unless otherwise specified. So I could blow up both of these good dice to get a 4 and a 6. And this orc only has 4 defense because there isn't only one. So I could write them in here with the lightning bolt and here with, you know, lightning or whatever, my staff or something. Yeah. That seems like a pretty good way to do things, I think. So let's put a... I guess it does matter a little bit. So I'm going to sacrifice both of these to get a 4 and a 6. And it does, I think, matter a little bit which one I put next to the key. Because I'm better at producing high numbers than low numbers, right? But I guess a 4 and a 6 are both equally easy for me to produce, because I can get a 6 by rolling a 6 or doubling a 3. And I get a 4 by rolling a 4 or doubling a 2. So I think those are the same. Except that actually a 4 is slightly easier to get because I can bump a 5 or a 3, whereas to get a 6 I can only bump a 5. So I think it is very slightly better to... Actually, let's do it in a different order. Put the 6 here and the 4 here. That defeats this orc. Now this guy has 5 defense, which is important to remember. All right, next turn. Doubles, so I'm getting hit by a wandering monster, but not the orcs, or the orc. And I have some nice high numbers, which is probably nice. I can't quite... Well... Actually... this coin and key are a little tricky to collect, aren't they? Because... they share this space, so you can only pick them both up if this space is the same as this and also the same as this, meaning you need them to all be the same. So if I write a 2 in here, for example, I have to choose between the key or the 2 coins. Whereas if I can write a 4 in, I could get both. And I have a poison potion lying around, and this is pretty much the last thing I want a bunch of 4s for. Yeah, I could fight the orcs or whatever. But I could double one of these 2s and spend a poison potion to get another 4. I think that makes a lot of sense. So I'm going to need to put one of the dice here, and I think a 2 is as good as anything. Then a poison potion and a doubled 2, and then a 6. Or actually, I guess a 5 is a little better. So let's sack this 6 to make a 4. Write in the 4 here. A 2 here. Spend my poison... Oh my god. Spend my poison potion to write in another 4 here, collecting the key and both coins, and then spend my 5 here. Seems like a good turn. I say a 5 is slightly better here than a 6 because it's easier to get onto a sequential path than a 6 is, because it has a neighbor above and below. All right, bring the 6 back to start the next turn. I was like, wait, oh no, there's a 4. Did I forget to get attacked? No, because this was a 2. Wandering Monster gets me again, but I mean, at least the orcs are not biting. A 4 is not useful to fight a Wandering Monster, or to fight the orc. But, I mean, it's not horrible, right? So, I'll write in my 2 here, collecting this health potion. Okay, I'm at 7 right now. It's a little worryingly low with a dragon fight coming up. Yeah, not sure what to do about that. I mean, I guess that's what... Well, I'm not going to have Sarah's amulet, though. Yeah, I'm a little worried. So that was... I spent only a 2. Let's set that aside. I'll spend a 4 here. And a coin, which I must have somewhere. Yes, I have plenty. To turn this 4 into a 5, which I will write in here. Defeating... Hey. Defeating this orc. He has 2 defense, sorry, 5 defense and 2 HP. And these 2 5s are enough to get him. This leaves me with a 2, which is not super useful. I guess I can put it here. It is a bit of a problem because now we are like touching the treasure chest and might have to evacuate at any time. It might make it a little harder to finish filling out the dungeon. But I think that's okay, and I like the fact that it leaves me the possibility of a 4-3-2 to get out if I don't end up getting a 4, 5, or 6 to finish this. It gives me more ways to make a path become sequential. Although, giving myself a path already greatly limits where I can put dice, right? Like, I can never finish filling this out. If I put the 2 here, I think I probably should. It makes it a little harder to get a sequential path here, but it makes it easier to finish filling out the rest of this. And I don't think I'll have trouble getting a 4, 5, or 6. Like, literally, every roll I have is a 4, 5, or 6, right? Except if it's, like, all 1s. And I think, actually, even all 1s, I could sack a good die to double a 1 into a 2, and then double a 2 into a 4. So I think it's impossible for me to have trouble filling this out. So I just want to make sure I don't touch the chest yet. And I guess this column is the one we're going to do last. Maybe? I don't know. Anyway, that was one of my 2s. I guess I haven't filled out the other one. Wait, did I? Uh-oh. How many of these have I spent? Did I just pick them up like this and then re-roll them? I only remember spending like 1 of these dice. Because all this was done in this fight here. Wasn't it? Like, this was last turn. I'm lost. I have no idea what I did. I got so distracted in thinking about filling out the dungeon, I forgot what was happening in the turn. I know there was... What happened to this 2? Where did it go? I must not have put it down yet. I must have... This must be the same turn I did this on, although it seems like it isn't. So I have a 2 left to spend, I guess. I mean, that... Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe something else happened this turn, but that's the closest I can get to reconstructing the board state. Sorry. It shouldn't be too hard to get from a 2 to a 3. 2 to a 5, rather. Double 6s. The Wandering Monsters are very feisty today. I mean, I haven't spent... I mean, I've been hit by Wandering Monsters like 4 times this dungeon. Yikes. Okay. Well. I think this is a good turn to trigger the fog. Oh, so when you disarm a trap, I think that's putting a 6 in it, right? So, like, obviously it says right there you disarm it by putting a 6 in it. But I think that means the trap doesn't trigger if you put a 6 in it, right? It triggers when marked unless you mark it with a number that meets its disarm value. Wow, this is like extremely fuzzy text. Do I have like a low quality import? How does it look in my actual PDF? I think it looks... Oh, it's a little fuzzy, but not as bad. Okay, so it's just an example of what some trap might be. It's not anything relevant about traps in general. Okay. Yeah, so we could avoid triggering the fog if we wanted by putting a 6 in it, and then get to spend all these lovely dice. But actually, these dice suck. So what I want to do is trigger the fog. I want to put a 4 here, I think. Well, yeah. It does mean I'm taking one more, a 1/6 of a damage on average from a Wandering Monster, right? But a 4 is a nice number to have here, and like all these 6s are really awkward. So let's just write in a 4, triggering the Cursed Fog. So this immediately ends my turn, and I start a new turn with 2 less range. Okay, no Wandering Monsters this time. This 2 is nice to have. No, it's not. It's bad. I could pick up these coins, but then I wouldn't have a sequential path. That would be disastrous. So actually by putting a 2 here and then a 5 here, I kind of made it impossible. Yeah. I guess as soon as I put the 2 here, I made it impossible to collect these coins. I didn't realize that. Okay. Interesting. Because there's no way I can construct a sequential path anymore without using this square. And putting a 2 here to collect the coins would make it impossible to do that. All right, so we just won't get these. This is a 3. And I guess it's time to leave, right? Just fill in as much as I can. Put a 5 on one of these. Fill this out. And fill this out with a 2 or 3. Okay, so 5 here. Just confirming this is not yet a sequential path. And when I put 1 here, it still won't be a sequential path. So let's put, this was a 2. Put a 2 here. It's not sequential, but it's also not a path. And then I have a 3 left to put here, finishing the dungeon. All right. I mean, could have gone better. Got hit a lot by wandering monsters, failed to pick up 2 coins, but... Oops. I'm so used to marking all of these. Even though I just said there was one No, I did do this. I did do this. I didn't get the coins, but I marked all of the squares. This is 5 plus 6, 11 more experience, taking me from 22 to 33. Yeah, that's how much I predicted I would have. Okay. 3, 8, 11. I get both of these, extra range and a reroll per turn. And I can buy any one object I want, which I'm pretty sure is a Staff of Power. That thing seems nuts. Yeah, I wonder if there was some way to get Sarah's amulet. Like, I mean, there could have been, right? I could have done the sewers before the crypt. But I was just afraid of... I think that would have been pretty dangerous. Fighting the orcs with only 1 good die instead of 2? Yikes, right? Alright, so 2 hours in. This game's taking longer than I thought it would. We're off to fight the dragon. The Berserk Dragon. Oops. Yep, 3 evil dice. Any doubles triggers wandering monsters. Man. I have 6 HP left to work with, and I guess 2 health potions I could pick up. That would be up to 11. Oh, we should be okay. I hope. I don't know. No doubles, and actually if I spend a coin on this, I don't even get attacked. Yeah, that seems great. How many coins do I have at the moment? 6? Okay. So let's mark off one of these and turn this into a 3. Great. I even rolled reasonably high on my good dice so that I can fight orcs effectively. Now, remember, I have the Staff of Power now. So... it has a range of 2, but it can go around corners. And actually, it has a range of 3 because I have this. So I could just start by opening this door. That is pretty cool stuff. I don't have the ability to reroll 1s for free. But I do have, when I use the Staff of Power, I can add 2 to a die. So I can make this 1 into a 3. Which is pretty nice, because then I have a path like 3, 3, 3, 4, 5. Right? So I not only take out this orc, but I give myself a potential path to the exit. That seems like a great turn. So I'll spend this 1 as a 3. I don't think I'm actually increasing the die. I'm treating it as being higher. I'm not sure. You may... oh, only good dice. Right. Okay. So that would have been cool, but I can't do that. But I could go, like, put a 3 here. 4, 5. And then use the 1 to go exploring further. Something like that. That seems okay. So I'll put... Let me just double check the rules for keys. I assume they're pretty simple. It's just like when you have a key, you can mark a door as if a locked door as if it were a normal one, right? You can cross out a key to use a die to mark a locked door as if it were empty. Yeah, so if this locked door were empty, I could mark it because my Staff of Power has a range of 3 and I can go 1, 2, 3. So I'll cross out my key here and just put a 3 in there. Then I'll spend the 4 and the 5 defeating this orc. Oops, this one was a 1. 4, 5. And I have a 1 and a 3 to work with still. I mean, getting to the dragon seems like a super high priority, right? So I think I want to go here and then here, yeah? And I guess I want this to be the 3. And this to be... Oh my god. This to be the 1, probably? Well, if I do it... Yeah, because this way, this could be part of a continuous path. It'll be a little awkward if I need to put a 6 in. I can't put it here, but that's fine. I can put it here or whatever. Okay, seems like a good first turn. Let's gather all these up and reroll them. Yeah, that's gonna hurt. But I do have several... I have access to a 6. And I can write it twice because of the Wand of Repeat. How much do I need to hit this guy? 5 times. Are you for real? Okay, well, I can't stop getting attacked by both of them. Which means I'm taking 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So the good news is at least I rolled a 6. So, I mean, you could ask, like, should I start fighting this guy? I think yes, because it's very unlikely there will be a single turn I can damage him on, right? Like, just completely kill him in one go. I think that's pretty unlikely. So there'll be one turn where I'm exposed to his increased damage. But I guess that's just how it's going to be. So I'm also thinking I want to write in as many 6s as I can, but that number might just be 2. Like, obviously I could, for example, spend a coin on this 4, turn it into a 3, sack a 1, double it to a 6. That's how I could get 3 dice. But I think it'll be cheaper to get more 6s next turn, probably. And I kind of like having all these 1s to start picking up health potions. So I think I'm just going to hit the dragon twice this turn. By spending 1 charge on the Wand of Repeat to let me mark... Oh, Staff of Power lets me treat good dice as being 2 higher, but that's not helpful because these are 1s. I could double one of them to a 3, but I still couldn't hit the dragon because... Double it to a 2 because I could still only then make it a 4 without spending a coin. Yeah, it doesn't seem like a good idea. Okay. So, I don't know. Maybe I am supposed to spend coins on this 4 to make it a 6. I mean, I can always do that later, right? I think I want to spend my coins, like... yeah, I don't know. So, I've already marked this off, meaning I'm going to write in 6s. Let's put one of them... I was going to say here and here. But actually that makes it rather difficult to... It means I would have to path a 6 to get to the treasure, which maybe that's okay? Like, I don't think a 6 here is too much of a problem. I can come in this way. So that's 1 damage. Is that where I want to put it? Maybe here is better. I think it is a little better, right? I can't say exactly why. It just feels a little bit more flexible to leave open the possibility of this being a 5 to make my sequential path safer or easier. Like, the sequential path can no longer go through here, but it could go this way, or it could go this way. And if it goes this way, letting this be a 5 instead of a 6 seems a little more flexible. And I think I will put the other one here. So those are my 2 6s from this 1 die, and now I have the rest of this to spend. I think I want to... Oh, shoot. If I pick up this potion... Oh, you know what I should do? This is a great time to just reroll all the dice, except the one I've already spent. Right, that must be allowed. After the roll dice step, what does that mean? Immediately after? Oh, after the roll... After the roll dice step. Does that mean you can use it to avoid wandering monsters or not? I thought nothing could. But if it were immediately after the roll dice step, like, would that be inserting a step in between roll and monster? Or would it mean you can't do this until you've started the monster phase? You may not use abilities to modify dice, but I'm not modifying dice? I'm re-rolling them? I don't know. So maybe I could have avoided being hit, but I wanted a 6 anyway, so... It's not clear to me whether I can do this during the Explore phase now? It is currently after the Roll Dice phase. I don't understand it. I don't know what this means. Let me check real quick on the Discord, see if there's an FAQ or something. Okay, well, I went to the Discord. The most recent FAQ, which is like a year and something old, maybe a year and a half even, I didn't pay that much attention, says, no, you definitely can't use reroll all to avoid wandering monster attacks. But it doesn't clarify when during the turn you can use it. So I asked a question about it, but I'm not expecting a response right away. So I think you can use it anytime during the turn, as long as it's after the roll dice phase. Although, I mean, it seems weird because everything is after the roll dice phase. Would it even make sense to reroll before you start rolling? I don't know. No? So why do they bother specifying it has to be after? I don't know. It's a mystery. I'm just going to interpret it favorably because the rules are unclear, and that's my prerogative as a player. So I believe I can reroll these if I want, without risking, more attacks. Although, I mean, I don't know that I want to. Like, 2 1s would let me collect an item. I only have 3 HP right now. I could just die. So I'd like to pick up the health potion, please. But I also want to preserve a sequential path through here if I can. So like I could put a 4 here and 1s here, but then this 3 is a problem. I could spend coins picking this up with 2s instead of 1s. Doesn't seem crazy. Or I could pick this one up and just say the sequential path is going to go this way. Doesn't seem crazy either. I have 3 1s and a 4, like 1 1. I don't know. I like preserving the possibility that like the path could go this way or this way. So maybe 1 1 4 1, so that I have the potential to attack this orc if I roll 5s instead of 6s or something. I guess so. So 3 1s. I put 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here, and a 4 here. I could put it here, making it a little bit easier to pick up the healing potion, but it's not actually easier. It means I only have to write in one thing, but it has to be specifically a 4. I believe if I leave this blank, then it could be 2 4s or 2 3s to mark this in. And maybe that's not so useful. All right, I've used all the 1s. I just have this 4 left to spend. I think it's better to put it here. Well, no, because this doesn't necessarily have to be part of the continuous path, right? So any doubles could do it if I were willing to have this be the path out. It's pretty constraining, but not impossible. This 6 wants to be part of the path anyway, rather than it going this way, because I want to write high numbers next to the dragon. I want to write 6s. So, yeah, I think I'll put it here. I will collect the health potion, getting 3 more health, so I'm at 6 instead of 3. That's a lot of breathing room, but wandering monsters, I mean, I do have to still hurry up. Oh, I could have made one of those ones a little bigger, couldn't I? I could have used this as a 3. I think I prefer that. Well, do I? Because I have my my Staff of Power to let me... One of the good dice was a 1, so I could have... Actually, I think they both were. So I could have given it a +2. I could have made this a 3. 3s are better at being on paths to the exit in general. But I like having an outlet for low numbers, kind of. Because I want the high numbers to go to the dragon and this continuous path, kind of. I think I'll leave it as a 1. That one, I guess we're calling it a 4, huh? Okay. So... we are pretty happy with that roll. We've missed Wandering Monsters. But before the monsters get to hit me with a 4, I'll spend a coin. My second from this little group. Turning this 4 into a 3. Let's get this one out of here so I don't accidentally think it belongs to me. And now there are doubles, but we've skipped one. We didn't get hit by water monsters. I changed this after the monster phase. And I'd like to hit this guy 3 times to finish him off, and that seems quite possible. I can sack, let's say, the 3 to turn this 3 into a 6. Coin up the 5, and then write this 6 in twice. Makes sense to me. So I will sacrifice this good die to double this one, using this ability. I will write in a 6 twice. Why are you doing that to me? Stop. I don't want to look at that one. Stop! If I do that, okay. 6 and 6. I think this is the continuous path, and it's going to be through a bunch of 6s. And the last 6, I think, wants... Well, I don't have another 6. I have to spend a coin on this 5. I guess that means I'm not going to get to defeat the orc this turn, but that's okay. So I have another coin lying around here to turn this 5 into a 6. Oh, wait a minute. So the Staff of Power already allows me to increment numbers by 2. But it says +2, not plus up to 2. So I don't think I can do that. I don't think I can turn a 5 into a 6. I could turn a 4 into a 6. But I don't have one. So I've spent the coin. I've gotten a 6. I put it down here, but I haven't actually written it in yet. So that's my last 6. 2 lines for you, Mr. Dragon. You are super defeated. Right? Hit him for 6 5 times. He's a goner. So now, at any time, we could escape if we had to, but obviously I'd like to continue filling out the dungeon. I have a 1 and a 3. A 3 here seems good. Do I have any poison left? I do have 1 poison, but I don't even want to write a 4, so... well, the 1 looks pretty good for this. Oops. Nope, I wanted a circle, not a line. And then what I have left is a 3, and this is an okay place for it, although I guess I've decided this isn't the continuous path because I blocked it all off with 6s. So I guess actually it's kind of better to go down here. I could fill it in as far as this, but I want to be working up to 6, not down. So I think I want the 3 here. So the continuous path could go this way, or it could go this way. These are both possible. So it's kind of nice to be working down, actually, to 2 different ways to get in here. I don't know. Doesn't seem like a huge consideration either way. So I am done with my Wand of Repeat. Okay. I wish you could press G like you can with cards to gather them, instead of having to like shake your... whatever, doesn't matter. 2 6s. So first of all, that's a wandering monster hit. Fortunately, the dragon doesn't hit me, but this orc does unless I want to spend 4 coins to save 1 HP, which seems like a bad idea. So at 4 HP, a little delicate, but I can finish the orc off quite easily this turn. How to do that? I mean, there are... I don't know. I mean, just writing the 6s in there seems good. And the 6s here. Like, I need a 6-ish thing here at some point. A 6 or a 5. So, I don't know. 6, 6. You're dead? And 5 here? I have a 1 and a 2. I could double the 2 to get a 4 if I blew up the 1. Like a 4 here is kind of nice. 2. If this were a 2, it would be a little bit awkward to get up to a 6, but not all that hard. I could even spend a coin and like put 2 2s in here if I wanted. I don't think that's really necessary. Like, there's fog here if I... There's this potion is... There's 3 ways to get to it, and I can only take 1 damage per turn. I have 4, so I should be fine. No rush to get this. If anything, picking up the coins is more urgent. A 1 and a 2. Well, 2 here is kind of nice because it connects to both of these pretty easily. And then I could put a 1 to connect to here, I guess. 2, 1. Seems fine. Means this has to be a 2 or a 3, which is slightly constraining, but not that bad. Wandering monster chips in again. Down to 3. But no attacks because there are no monsters remaining. And I have some nice little doubles, right? The 5 here seems okay. I think I'm going to start by grabbing the potion while it's easy. Oh my god. Can we? Okay, thank you. 3, 3. Grab that. Which gives me this. So now I'm at 5 again. But I've spent my 3s. A 5 is the best possible die I could ever put here because it's maximally flexible. And now I have a 3 and a 1, both good. Is this once per turn? What is that? Once per turn. So I can only use the magical effect on 1 of the 2 dice with this, which is probably fine. Yeah, I could pick up, for example, I could make this a 3 and put it here, and then put the other one here. Or, I guess, I could put it like here, triggering the fog now, and leaving the possibility of this becoming a 4, which makes it easier to connect up to this 5. That would reduce my range, but I think my range is fine right now. I think now is a good time to trigger the fog. Let's put a 3 here. That triggers the fog trap. Reroll all dice and start a new turn. That's fine. I spent them all already. And my range will be reduced by 2. So, you know, this has range 2, plus 1 is 3, but still only 1. So this is a turn where I'm basically only using the staff. I can't. This isn't my mouse's fault. I just can't. I'm too dumb to click on a die. Wandering Monster gets me again. Not a huge surprise. That could be a constraint, forcing me to get out of here. All right, I calculated in the last video how often you hit doubles on a roll of 3 dice, right? So it's 1 out of 6 times 3. Yeah, exactly 50-50. All right. These numbers aren't terrible, but they aren't great. Probably a good time to use my reroll all on anything I don't like. Maybe I want to end with a 3 here. That seems fine. A 2 is even better, though. This I kind of want to be at least as big as a 3. A 6 here is okay, although, you know, a 5 would be a little better. I guess actually if I put a 6 here, no, I can't use 3s to collect the coins because then I wouldn't get out. I wouldn't get experience anyway. Yeah, I don't really want any of this except maybe the 6. So this is my reroll for the turn. Okay, that looks better. Right in the 4 here, yeah? I want this to be a 5. That's a great number to put there. And actually, I mean, I could collect these coins for sure by turning this 4 into a 6, right? With the Staff of Power. And then just writing in the 2 6s. That seems nice. 6, 6, circle. Although it does make this 5 less exciting if I'm immediately going back to 6, but it's fine. I shouldn't have any trouble getting out of here. I have a 3 and a 1. I mean, those aren't great. But I think I can put the 3 here pretty comfortably. And the 1, I think, just wants to get out of the way. Go here, or here. They're all pretty much the same. Put it there, I guess. Wandering Monster gets me again. Like I said, it should happen pretty often. I shouldn't be too shocked that it's happening. Now we're back to having full use of our Staff of Power. The range of 3 instead of 1. These dice would connect me up this way, which is nice if I wanted to. I need some bigger numbers, though. to make sure I can get down here. I mean, I have plenty of time. Maybe it's time to lock in this coins? I don't know. I think since I don't have a lot of health left, I want to be in a position to evacuate if necessary. So I think I should prioritize making sure I get a path. And I don't need a bunch of coins to do that. I need to write down a bunch of numbers. So how many coins do I have at the moment? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 coins. That should be plenty. So let's like blow up this 1 to make this a 4. Blow up this 2. No. Keep the 2. So I could go like 2, 3, 4. And put a 2 here. Seems okay. 2, 3, 4. Gosh, that 3 is way too high. That's too low. Oh my god, it's so hard to use Tabletop Sim. Please. 3. Okay, so that's the 2, 3, 4, and I have another 2, which I said I want to put here. That triggers the fog. So we're starting another turn with only 1 range. No wandering monster, that's a nice change. A 5 is a good number. I really need a 5 here, or a 4. Maybe I should just get a 4 there, because a 5 here is pretty useful as well. It is the best number to put in this space. 5, great. So I could sack a 2, or a die rather. Maybe a 3 would be better. To double this 2 to a 4 and put it here. Or here, I guess. I should be prepared to spend coins, though. You don't get anything for coins, right? End of game. Add experience. Yeah, okay. So coins are useless. And dice are worth points because I can fill in more columns before the game ends with them. So I should be using dice to adjust, or coins to adjust my dice where possible. I want to put a 3 here, but that would end the turn, so I don't want to do it yet. I'm just going to set it aside. Remember that it's for this. Am I currently on reduced range? I think I am. I don't know. I've sort of lost track. Doesn't matter very much. I can reach pretty much anywhere except these 2 spaces. And this one, I guess. So I think a 1 here is reasonable. That connects me up safely. Now I don't care about this space anymore. I already spent this 5. That's why it's down here. Now I have 2 2s. Where do I care about the value of a die? Kind of nowhere. I need to be careful. Don't accidentally write something in here, because then I would be... Well, I wouldn't quite have a path, but then as soon as I filled this in, I would. Well, since the dice... The coins are not really useful anymore. I should spend them immediately on something. Anything that's at all useful. So rather than blowing up this 2 to make this a 4, I think I'm just going to spend 2 coins on it. As long as I have enough to make sure I can get out, I'll be fine. So let's go find 1, 2 coins to make this a 4. Oh, this one I can make a 4 just by using my staff, can't I? Well, I want 2 4s, so this is fine. I'll put a 4, this 4. Help here. I'll use the Staff of Power to treat this 2 as a 4. And write it in here. Now we're pretty comfortable at getting to the exit whenever we want. And I'll end the turn with this 3 that I said I wanted. Collecting these coins. And we're starting a turn with range of only 1, because that was a fog square. The Wandering Monster gets me. Down to 2, but not dead yet, so plenty of time to scoop out whatever treasures remain in this dungeon. And I have a completed path as long as I can roll, like, anything here. Not a 6. So a single coin gets me out, so I can spend all but 1 coin freely. I need to not fill in this column, because then I would have an unsequential path. So this is, like, permanently undesirable to me. I almost want to mark that so it's easy to remember, like, what squares I can never fill in. This one would be fine. Yeah, I guess I should just be writing these anywhere that they fill in a column, basically. So let's put a 6 here. Well, okay, let's make sure I don't forget which dice I'm using. That's the 6 I'm using. I'll put another 6 here. Let's put a 1 here and a 3 here. This 5 wants to go here. That's all the dice. And any square we touch is going to fill in the treasure. Except this one. Ah. That last die I just wrote in should have been here, actually. Where was that? I remember this 5 is one of the ones I wrote in this turn. So let's... I don't know if it was the last one or what, but oh my god. I'm gonna fucking murder you, Tabletop Sim. No offense. It's just impossible. It, like, wants to hide... Like... Ha! Ha! I can't do it. All right, erase. It's still... There's now an empty text field there. Great. 5. And we definitely have no connected path to treasure because nothing is touching the treasure. Okay. So start a new turn. Range is reduced again, but that doesn't matter. I don't get hit by the Wandering Monster. And I can write in anything I want as long as it's at least 3. Well, not 6, I guess. But anything I write into either of these 2 squares... Oh, no, I need to write something here. let's put in a 1. And that's the only square left that I can fill in for points. So let's put a 4 here. And we're done. Time to score it up. So I guess, first of all, do we have a sequential path? It would be quite a blunder to have missed one, but I believe there is one. It goes this way. Yep, that was all sequential. So we do get to score it up. Completed column, 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 not this one, not this one, this one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Plus 2 orcs for 2 each is 16. Plus the dragon is 21. I'm currently at, what, 33? So that should get me to 54. There we go. This one's filled in a little weird, but, you know, forgive me. And I mean, I guess that's basically the end of the game. I thought something I realized it would have been nice to do earlier is to just like draw out the path that I took on each of these. So here we did this, or I could have gone this way, of course. I gave myself 2 options, but this is fine. Here we went like this. Like this. From here, it looks like we went this way. It's just a cute thing to do, like as you're scoring up a dungeon. I think waiting till the end on it is silly, but when I saw this big one, I was like, you know what? I want to draw the cool line, and now I get an excuse to do it on the others too. So from here we went 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 6, 5, 6, 6, 5, 6, 5, 4, 4. Nice. And that's my score. I have 54 experience and, you know, some coins, which aren't worth anything. How many did I end with? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so I could have used some more to save HP at some point, but I didn't need it. All right, so that was Zafinn. I liked this. This was fun. I mean, it took a little longer than I would have liked, but that's me. And getting used to the rules and explaining everything. You know, I'm sure I could play this much faster if I were doing it alone and not the first game. I might play another of these, try out a new character in a new dungeon. We'll see. I'll link in the description to where you can buy this if you want. Not sponsored, obviously. Nobody ever sponsors me. I've gotten a couple emails. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.